Good evening. My name is Joe Peasy, and I've had the honor this past year of serving as the Vice President of Membership here in the Occoneechee Council. While every one of the areas that we focus on here in Scouting is very important to the success of the Council, I take great pride in knowing that I've had the opportunity to work with professional staffers and volunteers in the area of bringing Scouting to more youth here in North Carolina. At the end of the day, the greatest gift that we can offer the youth in this state is to have the opportunity to have them involved in Scouting. Like most assignments that we take on in our daily lives, professionally or as volunteers, we have some ups and downs. There is so much more room for growth, especially as it relates to increasing the percentage of available youth that we actually have in the Scouting program. We'll have focus on that in 2011. Our Council, however, was able to achieve some great successes in 2010. The overall growth rate of 1.6% in membership was achieved, and we brought Scouting to an additional 245 youth, bringing the rolls for traditional Scouts to 15,169 at the end of 2010. We had 7 of our districts involved in Scouting that reached the Centennial Award level for membership, and we had 8 districts that were actually able to grow membership for the year. But in addition to just growing youth within the existing units, we were also very successful in adding new units to the Council. 38 new units were actually started in 2010 against a goal that we had of 34 new units. And with all of that being able to be accomplished, it's with great pride that we announce that we have also been able to achieve the centennial level of growth for the overall Occoneechee Council for 2010. As we begin 2011, I am excited about the opportunities that we have to really regenerate interest in our Scout Reach initiatives. I think you're going to see a lot of great things from the Scout Reach program in 2011. At the end of this past year, we were able to bring on a bilingual and bicultural professional staffer to work directly with our Scout Reach volunteers to try to bring new units and new youth in those markets into the Occoneechee Council. Given the demographics of the Council areas that we serve, it's very important that we're successful in Scout Reach, and I know that we will be in 2011. I also want to thank George Oliver, who is taking over membership in 2011. He's already jumped in with a great deal of enthusiasm. Many of you know George and know that he has a great deal of experience with the Council and with Scouting, and he is attacking this with a great deal of vigor. I want to close by just thanking all of you who have volunteered and you professionals as well, who have really helped us in 2010 achieve the goals. We have so many more youth that we have the opportunity to serve in North Carolina, and it's up to us to make sure that that happens in 2011. Thank you very much for all of your hard work.
Good evening. I'm Jim Whitlock, Vice President of Finance for the Council, and I'm pleased to be with you to share with you some good news about 2010. A year ago, we reviewed our 2009 year, and our promise to you then was that as a council, we would strive financially to achieve 6 goals in the year 2010. First, the Finance Committee would encourage and support our council's need to fund our operating expenses, our Jambo expenses, and our 100th anniversary expenses, and also, having done that, to end the year with a small surplus. I'm pleased to tell you that that's what we did. We funded one of the more outstanding years in the history of this council, and it looks like we're going to end the year with approximately a 2% surplus off of our revenues. Secondly, we would execute our 2009 plan to encourage the use of our camp facilities by non-scouting groups in order to generate more revenue and obviously to enhance our reputations locally. We achieved that goal, and we look forward to even greater usage by non-scouting groups in 2011. Third goal was to continue our budget oversight throughout the year, and we've done this for the 2nd year in a row. And this year, we designed a 2-year budget for 2011 and 12 for our operating budget, and we also plan to expand that to include not only operating but also our capital campaign budget and our endowment fund budget as well, and we'd love to be able to produce that over a 5-year span, but I'm not sure how well we'll be able to work with that. We're making every effort to. Fourth, we intended to complete our capital campaign fundraising and also the promised construction that we still have outstanding at Camps Durant and Campbell. While we didn't actually get that completed, we came a long way toward completion. In the middle of the year, we formed the Capstone Campaign Committee, which is chaired by John McMillan, and they are well on their way toward their goal of raising $1,500,000 by the end of June of this year. And that money, plus the outstanding pledges in our campaign, should enable us to pay off the bulk, if not all, of the loan that we have against our Grand Lodge up at Camp Durant. Additionally, in the middle of the year, we were able to reconstruct and reconfigure, actually, our construction loan and turn it into a permanent loan that enabled us to complete the Grand Lodge in 2009. Fifth, we would make a major push towards increasing our endowment fund. We've done a lot of things towards making that happen. We hosted, I think, a wonderful Heritage Society dinner at McGregor Country Club in this fall. We inducted, I think, 7 new members of our Heritage Society, the largest group we've ever inducted at any one time. We also hosted a reception for our primary donors and supporters in the Moore District at Country Club of North Carolina in this fall, and that was really well attended. About 25 folks joined us that evening to hear about where their money went. We put out a stockholders report, which you might have seen this fall, and the plan is to produce this quarterly and get it in the hands of those people who continually support us. Ongoing, our endowment investment committee has done a marvelous job. We took a pretty big hit in that account in 2008, and we've been trying to dig out from under it as we go along, and this year that committee led us to a 12.1% net gain from January 1 to December 31 of this year. And lastly, in December, we were advised that we would be the Class 1 beneficiary of a gift left to us that we didn't know anything about. A gentleman by the name of John Carter passed away, and he left the Occoneechee Council all of his Class 1 assets, and for that we are eternally grateful for this wonderful gift. And last, we would want to continue to enhance our geographic representation and the financial expertise on our finance committee. I can say without hesitation we've done that in spades. It's been a wonderful group to work with. I've never experienced the working with a group as passionate and as knowledgeable towards Boy Scouting as this group. I am eternally grateful for them and also for your support in entrusting me with this position for the previous year. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Steve Krause, and I'm the Council Treasurer here to give a summary of 2010. Despite operating in an area where many businesses are still feeling the pressures of a struggling economy, the Council had a very successful year from a financial perspective. Included in this year's results were 2 unusual but significant events, the National Jamboree and the 100th Anniversary of Scouting events. To highlight some of these areas, focusing on the financial statements included in your package, first, the Friends of Scouting campaign ended the year in excess of $1 million in revenues, but about where they were in 2009, $82,000 short of budget. Collections ended up around 89% of pledges. The Council is still collecting from 2010, albeit at a slower pace. Special events ended the year $44,000 short of goal, but also about where it was in 2009. One fundraising event, budgeted to raise around $25,000, did not occur during the year, which negatively impacted those results. Foundations and trusts ended up the year $87,000 under budget. There were two large grants, one for $14,000 and another for $37,000, which were budgeted for the year but were not received. For 2011, the Council has hired a professional grant writer to help in this area. Thanks to the generosity of Blue Cross Blue Shield, which gave the Council funds to help cover the costs of the 100th anniversary of Scouting events, the other direct support line ended the year $20,000 over budget and $56,000 over the same line in 2009. As another plus, the Council had a record popcorn year, netting $790,000 in revenues, which was about $40,000 over the budget. Camp Durant also had a record year with 1,850 scouts in attendance, creating $436,000 in revenues at about $71,000 over budget. Last to note on the revenue side, activity fees were $891,000, right on budget, but $480,000 ahead of where they were in 2009. As expected, this category was significantly impacted by the National Jamboree and the 100th anniversary events. On the expense side, payroll-related costs ended about $85,000 under budget as the Council did a great job holding down all of its discretionary expenses. Program supplies and occupancy ended up $57,000 and $20,000 respectively over budget, and $213,000 and $318,000 respectively over the prior year. The change from 2009 reflects the expected costs associated with the Jamboree and anniversary events, and the overage to budget is relative to the increase in the revenues as a result of the strong summer camp program. Finally, recognition awards expense was $32,000 less than budget, primarily the result of a reduced coin recognition program for Friends of Scouting. This recognition program was changed to help contain costs. Overall, the Council budgeted a surplus for the year of $41,000, but ended with a surplus of $82,000, an improvement in excess of $60,000 over the previous year. This is something we're very proud of considering these tough economic times. The staff should again be commended for their diligent efforts in keeping costs down to help attain these results. From a balance sheet perspective, during the year the Council renegotiated their construction loan with Wells Fargo, changing the payment structure from an annual to quarterly to help improve cash flow. They ended the year only $128,000 into their $600,000 line of credit, an improvement of $50,000 over the 2009 outstanding balance. In summary, 2010 posted surprisingly strong results given the shape of the world around us. The work of the staff and the board and the generosity of the many supporters of the Boy Scouts of America all came together to make it a great year. We look forward to 2011 being just as good.